Hello and welcome to Jack Wag's allotment video 2. It's 10 past 2 on Monday the 12th of May 2014. I'm going to be telling you today about how I put the kettle on and just basic stuff I do in the shed, and plus a few bargains that I got on my travels this weekend. It's my son's birthday and he's 26, so happy birthday, Carl. I miss you a lot. I miss you loads, in fact. I wish you were here, and I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll Skype you later on just to see how things are going. And I hope you're having the same weather as we are. Obviously you will be in Australia, of course. Anyway, let's get on and see what we can do today. Anyway, I'm going to show you how I put the kettle on here, because it's an essential part of allotment life, as you know, a cup of tea. So basically you get the packs of gas, the cylinder gas, just the bottles. You load it into the machine, but you must make sure that this clip fits in there, and you load it and shut the door. And your cooker should be always in the off position when you're not using the gas, simply just for safety reasons, because you just never know what's going to happen. So what we'll do is we'll put it into the on position and click till you get a flame. I'm going to pop the kettle on. I've pre-boiled this kettle, obviously, just to get it warmed up so you can so don't use too much time filming and it's boiling up and whatnot. But I'm going to use this water for washing the cups, because the last time I was here I forgot to empty the kettle. But we don't waste water at allotments, we always reuse it or try and do something with it. So what's in there, I'm going to wash the cups up. Okay, so it's just a bit of squirt washing up liquid, boiling water, and then we'll have our water bottles, which are great. These are brilliant for allotments. If you can go and buy the big cartons of water, use that water for yourself, for your home use, whatever. Keep the cartons, bring them to the allotment. Brilliant for storing water from the water butt. So I'm just going to pour a little bit of cold in, just to give that soap something to work on for a second or two. And then we'll just wait for the kettle to get hot. Anyway, I got some good stuff at the markets this weekend, some bargain stuff, not full price stuff from shops and everything, trying to go down a cheaper route. Nope, here we go. Here's the kettle boiling. I'll just give you a little bit of nostalgia. Doesn't that sound good? This is for my sister Linda, who absolutely loves whistling kettles, and she'll be coming along one day soon to have a cup of tea with me and help do some digging. She's a fantastic artist, and you just got to see her work. So that's the kettle off. Just going back to Linda for a second. She is there we go, let's pour that in. She absolutely loves Marilyn Monroe, and she's done a fabulous book, which I'm going to bring to the garden, and I'm going to show you some pictures of her work, which you'll be quite impressed, I would think. I think it's fantastic, and I think you will too. So there we go, kettle's off. Put the lever again into the off position, and then also this into the off position. You can use these quite safely if you take the bottles out every time you leave the shed and store them somewhere cool, preferably on the floor or floor level, just to keep them cold, and then use them as and when you need, and dispose of them properly. Obviously don't just put them in public bins and stuff like that, because you never know who's going to get their hands on them. So anyway, let's have a look here. We've got some fish blood and bone from B&M, $1.49 a box. Now this stuff's obviously invaluable in the garden, really good for all sorts of things. So give it a bash, and for that price you can't really grumble. Don't be tempted to go to garden centres all the time, because yeah, they're convenient, and yes, there's a nice atmosphere and everything, but you pay for that atmosphere in lots of ways. Right, so here's Bailey in the sun. Look, you just sunbathing there. Can we have your thoughts of the day, Bailey? What we're going to do? We're going to go for a run with the ball. So what do you think about the garden today, Bailey? Well, it's okay. It's a little bit hot, but I've had a good run, and I've got some dinner. Do you want a bone? Perhaps not. Okay, we'll get your thoughts later on what you think the work's turned out like today, Bailey, okay? And then we'll see if you're right. Anyway, I'm going to lay these on the bed just so you can see the actual packets and everything. Now here's a prime example of where you can go really mad and pay loads of money for stuff. Okay, now we've got some nice sweet peppers, 39p. Anywhere else, you're going to be paying about £2 a pack for them. Radishes, probably not as much as that, but you're still heading over the pound mark. These are all 39p a packet from Aldi. So give them a go, because they do grow. I've grown them before, and they work. Okay? I sound really bossy on this video, but I don't care, because I hate people wasting money unnecessarily at great big garden centres. I just wanted to show me poster, which I love, because I love the 40s. I love the wartime. I love anything like that. So, here's the radio.
Afternoon drama.
Afternoon drama. There you go. Oh, hang on, I might put that on because I might want to hear it.
Your life forever.
It will change your life forever.
Slumdog Millionaire. There are several traits that I look for.
Right, here is another little bargain I got, which I thought was great. Hang on, I might have to turn you down a bit, radio. Right, this is a little lamp, because sometimes here it can get a bit dark if there's a rainstorm. And obviously, I've only got that window, not a lot of light. So I got this little lamp, and it's a bit, you know, take on a hurricane lamp, but it takes batteries. So I'm going to find a little place for it up beside me cock of knowledge, and there you go. That looks okay. Might find a better place for it. So let's have a look at the temperature today. Let's see if this is working. Can you see where the red is? Oh, well, I can't see it. I haven't got my glasses on. Anyway, these are another good bargain. Galvanised hooks, pound stretcher, 99p. Now, you can see that they're quite strong. They're not amazingly strong, but they really come in handy for tools and stuff like that. And as you can see, for hanging your bag on. Because I always bring a big bag of stuff to the allotment, obviously. Oh, there's Bailey chilling out again. Right, so we'll go in the greenhouse and we'll have a look and see what's what with the greenhouse. Let's have a look at these pansies. Oh yes, we've got signs of life. Not the best signs of life, but they're nice. They look a bit raggy actually. I think the wind's caught them. Anyway, I'm going to have a look in the greenhouse. Probably need to get this tidied up. Storm damage. I'm going to blame it on storm damage. Right, so we've got some yellow kinghorn. No sign of life in them yet. So, you know, take a while to come through anyway. These are cabbages and some broccoli that I got off Rob, my friend. And we have got beetroots, which are through, which I love growing. Well, I love eating them as well. But they're, you shouldn't really put them into pots and transplant them. But to be honest, I've done it before and it works. So I'm not going to worry too much. They do come. Sweet corn, the signs of life. And you see the little shoot. That one, the one I showed you the other day, hasn't come through. This one's come through. Courgettes, going to take a couple of weeks, I would think. They're quite lazy to come through. And then up here, I'm going to be putting some more seeds in. So we've got quite a lot of empty containers and, you know, things to fill up. Little tip I would give anybody who's starting, or just, you know, I mean, this is pretty obvious stuff really. But at the end of the day, when you go home, try and fill your watering cans up for the next visit, because then you're getting a sort of tepid temperature water when you come. Just a little job to remember to do. I'm going to put some tomatoes in this bed here. The beef tomato and moneymaker. So we'll see how they come on in there. I'm going to prepare that bed today and put them in. And I'll do another video and show you how they look when they're done. So I'm going to show you the plants I got. And this is 8 marigolds for £1.79, which I thought was a bargain. That's also Aldi. And here we have 5 strawberry plants, which I'm going to make a little fountain sort of thing with some rocks, and I'm going to put them in, or I might even just put them in a flatbed. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. And then we'll get them in. So £2 for 5 strawberry plants, not bad. There's your money maker tomato, 50p, and a beef tomato for 50p. So look out at markets for independent growers who, you know, are quite prepared to pot stuff up and sell it on really cheap. So again, try and use what you've got around you to get stuff a bit cheaper, because you can be ripped off. So work's got to still be completed on these beds. I'm try and get some soil into these today as well. And I'm two minds about this black country, because one, I hate the smell of it. I think it smells a bit like whiz, and not keen on them, to be fair, and they take quite a lot out of the ground. So I think that might be getting donated to somebody. So if anybody wants it, give me a shout. The mint is flourishing. People must think I'm obsessed with mint. Well, I am, kind of. Anyway, not much weed growth in the garden for the last few days, so I'm quite chuffed about that. But we'll keep on top of it if it comes through anyway. Right, I've got some white silver moon onions in. The birds have been at it because it's come up to the top. But the rest are starting to get a shoot on, which I'm quite chuffed about. So this is a full bed of onions here, just keeping them separate because they're white, and I've got red and yellow onions at the bottom. So let's have a look here. Let's do polytunnel cam. Now these are cauliflowers. Must be nice in there, nice and warm. So I'm going to have to give them a bit of a water today, just to keep them hydrated, because it is getting quite hot. Well, it's hot, but there's a cool wind. And I'm going to show you the front of the garden that I did the other day. This here, it's a bit shady with this tree, so I'm going to try and think of something that would flourish there. Any ideas, put it in the comment box below, because I'll show you the angle of it and you'll see what I mean. So I need something to put in there. I've tried pumpkins that came and they were great, but they need a bit more sun, I think. So anything here that we can eat or grow as a flower that'll come nice, give us a shout. So this is the front little bit of the garden. I just dug this over yesterday. I put some cottage garden seeds in, night scented stock, which I love, and I had a couple of these spare little baskets, and I got donated these flowers off a friend, so I put them in. And this is the view. So down the bottom of there is the gate, and I come in from there. And the beach is just behind those trees. So if you go, 10 minutes walk, you're at the beach. And then up here is the other end of how we'll get in. Sorry about the editing on this, but I haven't got the clicky off thing that you can do it with. Anyway, lots of wildlife here. We have all sorts coming and going. Hence why I had to put this chicken wire fence up, because the rabbits just thought this was like their own little restaurant. But this deters them slightly. We still get some damage, not a lot, not anywhere near what we used to get. So, and this is only £4 a roll from B&M again. So keep looking in your cheap shops. It's not, this has been up over a year, this fence, and it still hasn't really, it's just going to be general maintenance like this that needs pinning back in. Not much, but it is worth, you know, looking out for stuff. Because I do get angry when I see people paying a lot of money for stuff, and I think, well, you know, this other stuff does the job. So I'm gonna get started and get some work done, and I'll do a part 2 of part 2 if I can, if I've got enough battery left on the phone. And then we might see some strawberries in the ground and some tomatoes planted up. So I'm going to crack on, as Dave would say, and get this work done. I shall see you soon.